Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And we know the Heisman Trophy has recently been more of a quarterback award, much like the MVP. I know there's a few instances where it's not the case, like a Devonta Smith or a Mark Ingram, just like Adrian Peterson in the NFL. But again, mostly quarterbacks last season. Three-man race towards the end between Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, and Michael Penix Jr. ended up being won by Jaden Daniels of LSU. Well, ESPN attempted to name who will be the 10 best quarterbacks for 2024. So let's take a look, ranking the top 10 college football quarterbacks 2024. I believe it was 10 college football reporters from ESPN that voted on their top 10. 10 points first place, 9 for second, 1 for 10th. Let's take a look. Starting number 1, 2 is not a winner, 3 nobody remembers. Shout out to Nelly. But anyhow, Carson Beck of Georgia. Of course, Stetson Bennett helped guide the Georgia Bulldogs to 2 national championships. Carson Beck didn't get them that far. They did have an undefeated regular season, but fell to Alabama in the SEC championship game. Did not make the college football playoff, but nonetheless was a stellar first year as a starter for Beck. He received 5 of the 10 first place votes. Dylan Gabriel received 3 of those first place votes, going to his third school after UCF and Oklahoma. Gabriel is going to have some of the most prolific yardage and touchdown totals in college football history. It even mentions he needs 4,353 yards to break Case Keenum's record of 19,217. Quinn Ewers of Texas received 2 first place votes. Ewers, a lot of fans want to see Arch Manning play. He's not going to have the chance as long as Ewers is at Texas. Some thought he might enter a draft. He did not. Helped guide the Texas Longhorns to the college football playoff, and really was an awesome season for Ewers. 22 touchdown passes, 5 rushing touchdowns. Jalen Milroe of Alabama, a guy who was actually benched at one point. Some thought it was a smart move by Nick Saban to help motivate Milroe, and it seemed to work. Awesome season, 23 touchdown passes, 12 touchdown runs. You wonder if Saban was still the coach, if Milroe might be a little higher. Noah Fafita, man, did Arizona's season turn around once Fafita was inserted into the lineup. Stellar 83.8 QBR as Arizona's quarterback. You see 5'11", not very tall, but after entering for an injured Jaden DeLaura, just had some awesome performances in Arizona. Definitely overachieved compared to their expectations. Jackson Dart, another guy who has been quite prolific in his time at Ole Miss. You see the first 11-win season in school history. Lane Kiffin, having him coaching him should only help improve him even further. Jalen Daniels, man, is Jalen Daniels a guy I want to see healthy for Kansas? I think a healthy Jalen Daniels is higher on this list. Did not play much last season. As you see, it mentions in his past 14 complete games, Daniels has thrown for 3,336 yards, 29 touchdowns, 8 interceptions while rushing for 691 yards, not including sacks. I always love when these college basketball schools play well in football. Your Kansases, your Kentuckys, UConn had a couple seasons. I want to see Jalen Daniels be healthy and move up higher on this list. A guy who could arguably be higher on this list as well, Shedeur Sanders. Now, the main thing with him that people say is his bugaboo is he holds onto the ball too long, and while that's partially true, he also had an atrocious offensive line at Colorado, and he still produced. You see 3,230 passing yards, 27 touchdowns to just 3 interceptions. Was an excellent first season at the FBS level. Cameron Rising, you wonder how much better Utah would have been if Rising did not miss the entire 2023 season. Had a very good defense, but an offense that had many games where they just were not scoring. And 10, Cameron Ward, Miami. Of course, Ward entered the transfer portal, then said he was going to the NFL draft, changed his mind, and Miami got themselves quite the quarterback by adding Cameron Ward, who had an excellent first season for Washington State after playing at the FCS. You see 3,735 yards passing, 25 passing touchdowns, 8 rushing touchdowns. So those are who they believe to be the 10 best quarterbacks in college football. The 3 closest to making the list were Brady Cook of Missouri, Riley Leonard, now of Notre Dame, previously of Duke, and Will Howard of Ohio State. So what do you think of this list? Do you think Carson Beck is the best college football quarterback right now? Would you give it to the prolific Dillon Gabriel, Quinn Ewers? Do you think Jalen Milroe could take a step forward? Honestly, I might have had Milroe number 1 if Nick Saban was coming back, and not that I don't think Kalen DeBoer can help him, because he did have Michael Penix Jr. at Washington. We saw how incredible he was. It'll be interesting to see if Noah Fafita can continue the excellent play he had last year for Arizona. And I think Jalen Daniels, as long as he stays healthy, I could honestly see him in the top 3 or 4. But let me know your comments. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.